Good afternoon. So we are going to start our session. This is week 9 sensor and actuator problem solving session. I'm ARPITA BISWAS. So this is about me. So I'm recently pursuing a PhD in electrical engineering department from IIT Jodhpur, and I did my BTech from Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal, and I did my MTech from IIT Jabalpur in micro nanoelectronics. And this class schedule time is every Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m. So in this session we are going to discuss about some of the question, and if you have any doubt then you can directly ask me. So this is question number 1. Trenches around the micro heater are provided from the thermal isolation. So it is true or false? And this question is directly taken from the lecture video, which is the Professor Hardik J. Pandya already covered this in the lecture video. So please unmute yourself and try to give the answer. And you can take your time and at first go through the question carefully, then try to give the answer. Okay. Banala Sindhu?
Yes, ma'am.
Go through the question carefully and try to give the answer. Varsha? Trenches around the micro heater are provided for thermal isolation. So it is true or false?
Ma'am, I think false.
Okay. Varsha, what is the right answer? Please unmute yourself. No, the answer is true. Actually, trenches around the micro heater is used for the thermal isolation. So the right option is option A. So next we are moving towards the question number 2. The electrical connection from the microfabricated sensor can be taken out using soldering, brazing, wire bonding and welding. So go through the question carefully and then try to give the answer. You can take your time, but at least unmute yourself and try.
Wire bonding.
Okay. Banana Sindhu? Banala Sindhu. Please unmute yourself.
Ma'am, option A, ma'am.
Shouldering. Preetham, can you explain why wire bonding is used, not shouldering?
I think all process are same. We melting some material to connection the two piece of wire, but the soldering is used for the large connections, the big size. Wire bonding is used for wafer or integrated circuits.
Yes. The right option is option C. So next question is SI unit of pressure is, the first option is Newton, second option is Pascal, third is bar, and fourth option is Joule.
Pascals, ma'am.
Okay. So the right option is the option B, Pascal. Next we are moving toward the question number 4. Which of the following is the expression for Charles' law? Option A is PV equal to nRT. Option B is PV equal to constant. Option C is PV equal to constant. Sorry, P by T equal to constant. And option D is V by T equal to constant. Okay. Banala Sindhu. Meghna. Take your time, but at least try. Meghna.
Option D, ma'am.
Okay. Meghna, what is the right answer? Please unmute yourself. So right option is option D, V by T equal to constant. The volume is proportional to the temperature. Next question is the gauge pressure is also known as, first option is manometric pressure, second option is barometric pressure, third option is absolute pressure, and the fourth option is none of the above. Okay. Banana Sindhu. Meghna.
Manometric pressure, ma'am.
Okay. So the right option is option A. Gauge pressure is also known as manometric pressure. Next, we are moving toward the question number 6. A gauge pressure sensor measures 10 atm within a gas cylinder when the atmospheric temperature was 67 degrees Celsius. So atmospheric pressure in 1 atm, the temperature of gas dropped to 37 degrees Celsius. What is the new reading in the pressure sensor? Option A is 5.52 atm, option B is 6.07 atm, and option C is 9.02 atm, and option D is 10.02 atm. So at first go through the question carefully. What is atmospheric pressure, what is absolute pressure, and which formula you are going to use. Take your time, there is no hurry, but I want the answer. So what is the question? A gauge pressure. So gauge pressure means the manometric pressure sensor measured by 10 atm within a gas cylinder when the atmospheric temperature was 67 degree Celsius. So temperature is given, initial temperature is given, and also the pressure is given here, which is within the gas cylinder. Okay, so it is not the absolute pressure. And second, the condition is atmospheric pressure is 1 atm, the temperature of the gas dropped to 37. So the temperature, the final temperature is 37 degrees centigrade, and here the atmospheric pressure is 1 atm. So what is the new reading of the pressure sensor? So please try to solve. Please try to solve the question. There is some condition is given. The initial condition is the pressure which is within the gas cylinder, which is 10 atm, and that initial temperature is 67 degrees Celsius. And then the final condition is the atmospheric pressure is 1 atm, and also the temperature is dropped to 37 degrees Celsius. So what is the new reading in the pressure sensor? No, not option A. There is a clue that you have to find the actual pressure or absolute pressure. Here only the manometric pressure or the atmospheric pressure is given. So at first you have to calculate the absolute pressure, then using the equation where the relation between the pressure and the temperature is given, you have to use that equation. Then you have to calculate the absolute pressure of in 37 degrees centigrade. Then you have to deduct the atmospheric pressure. Then you can get the pressure within the sensor. Sorry, within the pressure sensor new reading. At first you have to find where the equation where the relation between the pressure and temperature is given. Then you have to find for the initial and for the final you have to find the pressure, absolute pressure, and you also have to convert this temperature from degree centigrade to Kelvin. Then you have to find the new reading of the pressure sensor in the pressure sensor. There is no hurry, you can take your time, but try to calculate. So which equation we have to use? Yes, P absolute equal to P atmospheric plus P cos. Yes. No, option B is not the right answer. Vanilla Sindhu, let's try to solve.
Sorry, ma'am, I can't understand. Please explain to me, ma'am.
Actually here the pressure is given, okay, the initial pressure, the Gauss pressure is given, which is inside the gas cylinder. So at first you have to find the absolute pressure. So absolute pressure is the sum of the pressure inside the cylinder and also pressure outside or the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so at first you have to calculate the absolute for initial condition. You have to find the absolute pressure. So here the pressure within the gas cylinder is 10 atm, and also outside the gas cylinder the atmospheric pressure is 1 atm. So at first you have to calculate the absolute. So absolute equal to Gauss plus atmospheric. So the initial P1 is equal to 11 atm. Okay, and the temperature is 67 degrees Celsius. So you have to convert degree centigrade to Kelvin. Then the second, and then the final condition. The final condition is the temperature. So you have to find, you have to convert 37 degree to Kelvin. Whatever is coming Kelvin, that is T2. Then what we have to find? We have to find, at first you can find the absolute pressure for the new reading when the temperature is 37 degree. Then you can deduct this atmospheric pressure from there. So you can get the actual pressure or the pressure inside the gas cylinder or the new reading. Okay, now it is clear. So please calculate.
Yes, ma'am.
And there is no hurry. You take your time, but at least try. Okay. Okay, but Banana Sindhu, what is the right answer?
I think D, ma'am.
Option B. Can you explain your calculation? Can you explain how you calculate? Okay. Vanilla Sindhu. Option B is not the right answer. So please try to calculate correctly. Sukhi. What is the right answer?
C, ma'am.
How you calculate? Please explain. Vanilla Sindhu. What is the right answer? At first you have to calculate the initial pressure, what is and the initial absolute pressure, and how to calculate the absolute pressure, the pressure inside the gas cylinder and the pressure outside the cylinder. So you have to add this 10 atm with this atmospheric pressure. So it is the initial pressure, and you have to, and the what is the initial temperature is given, which is 67 degrees centigrade. So you have to convert this 67 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. So this is your initial condition. The P1 equal to 11 atm and the temperature is 67 plus 273. You have to add this, and this is the initial temperature, and what is and the final temperature is given, which is 37. So the T2 equal to 37 plus 273. So this is given. So you have to found the P2. So you have to take the equation P1 by T1 equal to PT by P2 by T2. So you have to put the value of P1, which is 11 atm, the temperature, which is 67 plus 370, sorry, 273. So the
340, ma'am.
hello,
67 plus 273 equal to 340, ma'am.
yes, 340.
37 plus 273 equal to 310, ma'am.
Okay. Then what is P2?
T2 310, ma'am.
Sorry, not T2, P2, the absolute pressure. Hello. So you have to put this value into the equation. P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2. So P1 is given 11 and the T1 is 340 equal to the P2. The P2 value we have to find and the T2 is 310. So at first you have to find the P2 value. So P2 is absolute. So you have to deduct minus 1 from the P2 and then you can get the pressure inside the cylinder after the temperature drop to 37 degrees Celsius. Now you can calculate now. Banana Sindhu. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Banana Sindhu. Now you can calculate. Simply put the value now. Calculate and then tell me what is the right answer. At first tell me, hello, the absolute pressure of the P2 absolute pressure, then you have to find the pressure inside the cylinder. So you have to deduct the atmospheric pressure from that.
Option C, ma'am.
Can you explain how you calculate now? Banana Sindhu. Option C is the right answer, but what is the absolute pressure, the P2 value?
Ma'am, 310 divided by 340.
Okay.
That will minus P atmosphere. P atmosphere value 1, ma'am.
Okay.
Substituting P atmosphere equals to 1.
Yes. So you have to put P1 value 11 by 340 T1 value. Then the equation you have to use the P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2. So P1 is I think 11. Then T1 is 340. Then P2 value we have to find which is the absolute pressure. Then by 310. So P2 is equal to 310 by 340 into 11. So the value is 10.02. So it is the absolute value. So we have to deduct the atmospheric pressure which is minus 1 atm. So 10.02 minus 1, it is equal to 9.02 atm. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we are moving towards the next question. Number 7. So stepper motor has 400 poles. The steep angle is given by option A is 1.8 degree, option B is 3.6 degree, option C is 0.9 degree, and option D is 2 degree. So how to calculate the steep angle? You can take your time, then try to give the answer. Okay. So how to calculate the steep angle?
Mm-hmm. 0.9, ma'am.
How we calculate it? Which formula you have used? Yes. So next we are moving towards the question number 8. Which of the following are different types of stepper motor? First option is permanent magnet stepper motor. The second option is variable reactance reluctance magnets stepper motor, and the third option is hybrid synchronous stepper motor, and the fourth option is all of the above. So please go through the question carefully and then try to give the answer.
Answer D, ma'am.
Okay. Banaras Sindhu. Preetham.
D, ma'am.
Okay. Banaras Sindhu.
answer D, ma'am.
Okay. So the right option is option D. Next we are moving toward question number 9. Which of the following are contamination caused by the human inside the clean room? So first option is the skin, flakes and oil. The second option is the spittle, and the third option is the hair. Fourth option is perspiration, and the fifth option is all of the above. So go through the
Ma'am,
question
I have a
carefully
doubt,
and then
ma'am.
try to give the answer. Okay.
Ma'am, I have doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in week 9 assignment, they asked the question which creates the contamination to clean room, ma'am. I think both people and materials will create the contamination for clean room, ma'am. But right option is people only, ma'am. Why, ma'am?
So your voice is not clear. What is the question?
Ma'am, in week 9 assignment, they
Okay.
asked a question which creates contamination to clean room. I think contamination by people, both people and material, ma'am. But the correct option is only people, ma'am. They give only people is correct answer.
Okay, but if people can taken something like some pencil or something, na, yeah, some material they if they are carrying, so by using this type of material where the dust particle is there present, so in that's also, sir, actually they I think they are giving the hints that how the contamination or the is entering into the clean room, because if the something material if the contamination coming from the material now, so it is carried by the human or the people. So that's why I think the answer is only people. So people is carrying this material or the something, so is and there is the dust particle is present. That's why the answer I think the people, because whatever inside the clean room, whatever is present na, they are also cleaned, and also they are using the HEPA or HEGA filter for the cleaning purpose. So whatever coming from the outside, it is carried by the human. That's why I think the answer was people. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, option ninth one, all the above, ma'am.
Okay. Suki, what is the right answer?
D, ma'am.
All of the above or perspiration?
All of the above, ma'am. Ninth one.
Yes, the right option is all of the above. Next question is class 1000 clean room will have less than 1000 particle of size less than 1 micron. So it is true or false? Here if you can give answer, what is 1000 clean room, where the particle size is present, it is less than 1 micron, or less than 1000 particle of size less than 1 micron. So is it true or false?
I think false, ma'am.
Can you explain?
For any clean room, suppose 100 clean room has 100 into 1 by 2 size M particles permitted within a cubic foot of air, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh, it has a micron size of particles.
Micron size
M
of
particles
particles per cubic feet.
cubic foot of air, ma'am.
Yes, cubic foot.
But they given the size less than that micron.
Hmm.
I think maybe false.
Yes, the right option is false. Good. Next question is why soldering is difficult for microfabricated devices? I think this we have already discussed. So what is the right answer?
Very small in size, so it cannot be soldered.
Yes, the size of the pad on wafer is small for soldering. Banana Sindhu, have you got?
No, ma'am.
So next we are moving towards the question number 12. Which of the following is the expression for Boyle's law? So PV equal to nRT, PV equal to constant, or P by T equal to constant, or V by T equal to constant. So I think the basic question, what is the expression for Boyle's law?
B, ma'am.
Yes. Sukhi, what is the right answer?
PV is equal to constant.
Okay.
B.
The right option is option B. Next we are moving toward question number 13. Atmospheric pressure is also the atmospheric pressure is also known as manometric pressure. Second option is barometric pressure, or the absolute pressure, or none of the above.
Barometric pressure, ma'am.
Okay. So the right option is option B, barometric pressure. So next we are moving toward question number 14. Absolute pressure is the sum of dash and dash pressure. We have already discussed this.
Barometric pressure plus manometric pressure, ma'am.
Yes. So how to calculate the step angle?
360 degrees by number of poles.
Yes. So the question number 16 is a stepper motor principle based on dash. What is the principle of a stepper motor?
Electromagnetism, I think.
What? What is the answer?
I think electromagnetism, ma'am.
Yes, electromagnetism is the right answer. Next question, the easiest question. What is the piezoresistive pressure sensor?
Sensors working on the principle of semiconductor devices, semiconductor material based.
And what is the input in piezoresistive pressure sensor? And what is the output? I'm asking about uh, which form of energy transfer into another form, na? Yes, pressure sensing using piezoresistive.
Pressure or force or anything is the input. Output is the resistance change.
Yes, force to change in resistance. Yes. Next, we are moving towards the question number 18. The manometric pressure value can be negative, so it is true or false?
True, true.
Can you explain why, how? The manometric pressure value can be
Barometric
negative.
pressure is an internal pressure of system, ma'am. It
Hmm.
does not include any barometric pressure, ma'am. So this value will be negative.
Okay, so the option is
True, ma'am.
yes, this is true. The next question is question number 19. Which of the following is the expression for ideal gas law? PV equal to nRT, PV equal to constant, P by T equal constant, B by T equal to constant. Yes, Pritam. Okay. Banala Sindhu, Sukhi.
PV equal to N or T, ma'am.
PV equal to, what is the right answer?
Option A, ma'am.
Yes, the right option is option A. PV equal to nRT. So next we are moving toward the question number 20. Detection range of piezoresistive pressure sensor is, so what is the value? Take your time and then try to give the answer. Detection range of piezoresistive pressure sensor, and it is already discussed in the lecture video. Still lecture is pending. But this is week 9 session, no? So this question also discussed in the lecture 9. At least try. Take your time. There is no hurry.
Ma'am, 300 to 1100
Yes.
hectopascals.
300 to 1100 hectopascal. And question number 21. Based on rotor type, how many types of stepper motor are present? Based on the rotor type. Okay. And can you explain the
Three
name
types,
of?
ma'am. Permanent, variable, hybrid.
Yes. And based on the winding time, how many types of stepper motor are present?
Two, ma'am. Unipolar, bipolar.
Yes. So application of stepper motor.
CNC and printers, I think.
Yes, the micro manipulator, 3D printer, and CNCs. So next we are going to the question
Ma'am,
number.
3D printers.
Yes.
We use 3D printers, ma'am. We'll be using like 5-stepper motor to control like this.
Yes, 3D printer, micro manipulator, and CNCs. Then question number 24 is clean room are classified by
Amount of micron size particles in 1 cubic foot of air.
yes. A stepper motor has 500 poles. The step angle is given by
0.72, ma'am.
okay. And why dicing is required in fabrication process? Have you heard about this dicing?
Making the wafers from the ingot.
Sorry, I did not get you.
We making wafers from the large size ingot of silicon. So we need to dices between the thin wafers.
Yes. Next is the easiest question, that the stepper motor has 700 poles. The step angle is given by. So what is the right answer? The stepper motor has 700 poles. The step angle is given by. No, I'm asking about the exact value, the angle value.
You guys, how are you? Yes.
So what is the step angle?
Half degree.
And how we calculate it? Pritam? How to calculate the step angle? Pritam, how to calculate the step angle?
360 by number of poles.
Okay. So next question is, what is lift off process? Why we need this process?
I think making the the metal contacts using the negative photoresist.
Yes. For the metallization we have used this process. And the next question is, atmospheric pressure is measured by.
Barometer.
Yes. This is the last question, the application of the piezoresistive pressure sensor.
Pressure in the, I think the vehicles tires. There are so many applications, but one is the tire pressure in the vehicle.
Yes. And also the particle velocity indications, leak detections, and weather forecast. So This is actually last question. If you have any doubt, then we can discuss about that portion, like lithography.
No,
Okay, then you can leave. So now I'm going to discuss about the answer of this question. So question number 1, the trenches around the micro heater are provided for thermal isolation. So the micro heater, whenever we go for the pattern the micro heater, so trenches also around this micro heater is used. So it and also in the video lecture you can see that it provides the thermal isolations. So the right option is true. In the next question, what it is saying, electrical connection from the microfabricated sensor can be taken out using the first option, soldering, the second is the brazing, the third option is the wire bonding, and the fourth option is the welding. So if we go for the soldering process, actually in soldering, brazing and the welding process, the pad side is larger, but when we go for the microfabricated devices, the sizes of the devices are small. So in that case we have to use the wire bonding. So in the small size or micron size devices we can make the connection. So it is called the wire bonding process. So in the next question, Buzz, is the SI unit of the pressure. So simply the SI unit of the pressure is the Pascal. And next we are going towards the question number 4. So what is the following in the expression of the Charles law? So the first option is PV equal to nRT, and the second option is the PV equal to constant, and the third option is PYT equal to constant, and the fourth option is VYT equal to constant. So what is explained in the Charles law? So PV equal to nRT is the ideal gas law, and also PV equal to constant is the Boyle's law, and V by T, the volume of the gases is proportional to the temperature. So it is the expression of the Charles law. So option D is the right answer. Next, what is the gauge? The gauge pressure is known as the manometric pressure, barometric pressure. Third option is the absolute pressure, and the fourth option is the none of the above. So manometric pressure is the gauge pressure. So it is inside the cylinder, and the barometric pressure is called the atmospheric pressure, and the absolute pressure is the sum of the manometric pressure and the barometric pressure. So the right option is the option A, the manometric pressure. And the next question is the question number 6. A gauge pressure sensor measures 10 atm within a gas cylinder when the atmospheric temperature was 67 degrees Celsius. The atmospheric pressure is 1 atm. The temperature of the gas dropped to 37 degrees Celsius. So what is the new reading in the pressure sensor? Option A is 5.52 atm, option B is 6.07 atm, and option C is 9.02 atm, and option D is 10.02 atm. So here the initial condition is given that the pressure inside the gas cylinder is 10 atm, and the atmospheric temperature in that time was 67 degrees centigrade. So here pressure, initial pressure and temperature is given, and also for the final condition it is given that the atmospheric pressure is 1 atm and the temperature of the gas is dropped to 37 degrees Celsius. So what is the new reading of the pressure sensor? So we have to, here the T2 is given, which is 37 degrees Celsius. So we have to find the absolute pressure of the gas sensor. So what we have to do, at first we have to calculate the pressure, the absolute pressure, which is the gauge pressure plus and the sum of the gauge pressure and the atmospheric pressure. So P1 equal to 10 atm plus 1 atmospheric atm or atmospheric pressure. So P1 is 11 atm, and the temperature, the T1 is given 67 degrees centigrade. So 67 plus 273 degrees centigrade, 273 equal to 340 Kelvin. So the T1 is 340 Kelvin. Next is the T2 is given 37 degrees Celsius. So 37 degrees Celsius plus 273 equal to 310 Kelvin is given. So we have to find the absolute pressure of the pressure sensor, which is P2. So we have to use the equation P1 by T1 equal to P2 by T2. Then we have to calculate the P2 value. So if we put the value of all this T2, T1 and the P1, then we can calculate the directly from the equation. P2 is 10.02 atm, which is the absolute pressure. But the absolute pressure is the sum of the gauge pressure and the atmospheric or the barometric pressure. So we have to deduct this atmospheric pressure 1 atm from the absolute pressure. So 10.02 minus 1 atm equal to 9.02 atm is the due reading of the pressure sensor. So the final answer is the option C, 9.02 atm. So when the temperature fall from the 67 degrees Celsius to the 37 degrees Celsius, then the new reading of the pressure sensor is 9.02 atm. The next question, it is discuss about the step angle of the stepper motor. And what is the question? A stepper motor has 400 poles and the step angle is given by. So how to calculate the step angle? Step angle is calculated by 360 by the number of poles. So 360 by 400 is 0.9 degree. So the right option is option C. So a stepper motor has 400 poles. The step angle is given by 0.9 degree. And the next question is, which of the following are different type of stepper motor? The first option is the permanent magnet stepper motor. The second option is the variable reluctant magnet stepper motor. The third option is the hybrid synchronous stepper motor, and the fourth option is the all of the above. So here you can see that among these three, there all of them are the type of stepper motors. So the right option is the all of the above. And the next question is, which of the following are the contamination caused by the human inside the clean room? So skin flakes and oil. The second option is the splitten, and the third option is the hair, and the fourth option is perspirations, and the last option is all of the above. So from the human inside the clean room, which is the contamination caused by the human inside the clean room, all of the above. This from the skin flakes and oil, also the wafer or the devices, whichever whatever we want to fabricate, that can be contaminated. Also from the splitten, those devices can be contaminated. And here actually the size of the hair is 100 micrometers, so you can when you go for the micro fabricated devices, in that cases it is larger size, so it also can contaminated our devices. Also perspirations, also the another source of the contamination from the human body. So all of the above is the right answer. Next is the class 1000 clean room will have less than 1000 particle of size less than the 1 micron. So it is true or false? So this question, this statement is false. Actually, how we calculate the clean room number, the class of the clean room? The micron size particle present per cubic foot. So here it is telling about it is saying about the less than 1000 particle of size less than the 1 micron. No, this is not the right statement. So the right statement is the number of particles present, the micron size particle present per cubic foot. Next, why soldering is difficult for the microfabricated devices? Because when you go for the soldering process, actually soldering process is used for the bigger size devices, like where the pad size is bigger. But when you go for the microfabricated devices, the pad size is in the micrometer range. So if we go for the soldering process, so it can destroy or it can melting our pad, so our device can be gone. So that's why we can use the wire bonding process instead of this soldering. Next we are moving towards the question number 12. So which is the following is the expression of Boyle's law. So we have gone through this topics in our 10th 12th level. So this is the easiest question. The Boyle's law is the PV equal to constant. The option B is the right option. Also the question number 13 is the atmospheric pressure is known as manometric pressure, barometric pressure and the absolute pressure, or none of the above. So in atmospheric pressure is called the barometric pressure. Actually the gauge pressure which is inside the cylinder, this is called the manometric pressure, and the barometric pressure is the atmospheric pressure, which can calculate or measure the pressure value from the barometer. And also absolute pressure is the sum of the manometric pressure and the barometric pressure. The absolute value, if we calculate the absolute value of something, some devices or something, then you have to at first you have to measure inside this cylinder or inside the devices how much pressure is present. Also you have to add the atmospheric pressure. So it means absolute pressure is the sum of gauge pressure and the barometric pressure or the atmospheric pressure. So this question number 14 we have already discussed. The absolute pressure is the sum of gauge pressure or manometric pressure and the barometric pressure or the atmospheric pressure. Now how to calculate the step size, step angle in a stepper motor. So step angle is calculated by 360 by number of poles. Next, the stepper motor principle based on dash. So stepper motor principle is based on the electromagnetism. So when electric current is passing through a coil, then the magnetic field is generated. So that's why the stepper motor is working. So it is moving. So the stepper motor principle is based on the electromagnetism. Next, what is piezoresistive pressure sensor? So we have already discussed about the different type of pressure sensors, like piezoresistive and also the piezoelectrical pressure sensor, where the input is force or the pressure, which is when some pressure force is applying to the sensor. So banding there is some diaphragm is present in the pressure sensor. So when you put some force on it, then the diaphragm is bending. So the resistance or resistivity of this diaphragm is changes. That's why it is called the piezoresistive pressure sensor. So here the input is force or pressure, which is converting the changes of the resistance of the sensor. Next question, the manometric pressure value can be negative. Yes, the manometric pressure is called the gauge pressure. And also you can take the example that the pressure inside the cylinder, the gas cylinder, like so. Yet the atmospheric pressure is not added, so we can make it negative. So the option is true. The statement is true. Next, the ideal gas law. So all of you know that the ideal gas law is PV equal to NT. So option E is the right answer. And now the next question is the detection range of the piezoresistive pressure sensor. So the detection range of the piezoresistive pressure sensor is 300 to 1100 hectopascal. So the question number 21, based on the rotor type, how many types of the stepper motor are present? So the question is, based on the rotor type, how many types of the stepper motor are present? So there are three types of based on the rotor type, there are three types of stepper motor are present. The permanent magnet stepper, second one is the variable reluctant stepper, and the third and the third one is the hybrid synchronous stepper motor. The next question is, based on the winding type, how many type of stepper motor are present? So there are two types of based on the winding types, there are two types of stepper motor are present, the unipolar and the bipolar. Next question is the question number 23, the application of the stepper motor. The application of the stepper motor, stepper motor used in the 3D printer, micromanipulator, and in the CNCs. Next is the clean room are classified by. So clean room are classified by the amount of the micron size particle in 1 cubic foot in the air. And the next question is the question number 25. The stepper motor has 500 poles. The step angle is given by, so how to calculate the step angle? It is calculated by the 360 by the number of poles. So what is the value of the step angle? So 360 by 500. The value is 0.72 degree. The next question is why dicing is required in the microfabrication process. So whenever we go for the microfabrication process, we take the whole silicon, sometimes we take the whole silicon wafer. So dicing is required to get like if we want to want only one chip or one pressure or one sensor, then this time we have to go for the dicing process, and we can take only single one or whatever number of the some devices we want, so we can take from that. So then in that case we can go for the dicing process and we take the sample or the devices. And this is a similar type of question which we have discussed earlier, that is stepper motor has 700 poles. The step angle is given by, so how to calculate the step angle? A step angle of a stepper motor is calculated by 360 by number of poles. So 360 by 700 is 0.514 degree. So what is the lift off process? Next question. Question number 28. So lift off process is the process of metallization. We can directly use this process for the metallization, where the photolithography process is difficult. In that case also we can directly use this process, and we can deposit our metal whatever we want to deposit. So this is the, so that's why we go for the lift off process. Also the next question is the atmospheric pressure is measured by barometer. Atmospheric pressure is also called the barometric pressure, so it is measured by the barometer. And the next question is the application of the piezoresistive pressure sensor. So in many cases we can use the pressure sensors like piezoresistive, where if we are taking some if we are taking input is in the form of the force, and then the resistance of the material is changes, like there is a diaphragm type of shape is present in the pressure sensor. So when we apply some force on that, in that case what happen, the resistance of this material or this silicon or this wafer is changes. Also there is a piezoresistive property also material is used, so the resistance of that material or that layer is changes. That's why this is the mechanism of this, or the principle of the piezoresistive pressure sensor. So where it is applied in the many cases, like enhancement of the GPS navigation, and also slope detection and weather forecast. Also we can use the piezoresistive pressure sensor. Also the vertical velocity indication, we can use the piezoresistive pressure sensor. And the another application, like another cases we can use the piezoresistive pressure sensor, like for the leak detection or also the volume measurement. So for in that cases we can use this piezoresistive pressure sensor. And the another type of pressure sensor like piezoelectric pressure sensor, where when we apply some forces on the devices, in that case the voltage is changes. Actually the current the charge is accumulated or charge is changes, and in so we can see the result in the form of the voltage. So in that case it is called the piezoelectric pressure sensor, and also it is simply the piezoresistive pressure sensor. So here we are ending our today's session. We will meet next Tuesday 7 to 9 p.m.